Someone's getting wet feet. Oh, this is sad times.
It's not getting too good up here, but there's no path. So yeah, it's not good.
Nominative determinism is essentially the hypothesis that people tend to gravitate towards area of work that fit their names. Arctic explorers may have Snow in their surname, or a runner named Swift maybe. In this case though, it's Payne, which leads me to where we are today. I'm here in Conwy, one of the most northerly points of Wales, and about 200 miles in that direction lies Swansea, the endpoint to this challenge. Now, we all know I love a good challenge here at GMBN, and it got us thinking, just how far can Rich ride in 24 hours? Well, there's only one way to find out. With a summer schedule so packed, taking the time out to do something like this is often pretty tricky. So here we are, end of February and going for it. 24 hours in February. Well, unfortunately, a lot of those hours are going to be in the dark, so I've teamed up with Magicshine to help light the way, where I'll be using the Montier 6500S bar-mounted light with remote to illuminate the trail. This little beauty is going to give me, you guessed it, 6,500 lumens. And with 4 different light modes from 100% down to 10, Magicshine reassure me that the battery can last up to a staggering 82 hours, all for 260 quid. Then, on my helmet is the RN 1500, giving another 1,500 lumens. And with the ability to run up to 11 hours, this combo is gonna be unreal when it gets to those darkest hours. And just to be on the safe side, out back is the See-Me 30 flashing away. For such an immense task, required carrying a lot of equipment, and I don't normally take a backpack, but this time I did. I chose to take the Camelback Mule Evo. With all-weather protection, it was lightweight, I barely knew it was there, and had just about the right amount of space to take everything I needed. Why North Wales then, I hear you ask? That makes absolutely no sense, especially in February. Well, when you do an epic, or when I certainly do an epic, I like to explore at the same time. I like to get out there, I like to see new places. So with a little bit of research, I found out about something called the San Helen Way, an old Roman road that traversed from the top of Wales to the very bottom. The San Helen Way is an ancient Roman road that used to run down the length of Wales, and to this day still exists in some form. While the original route is somewhat in debate, this ride's going to take me first through the Snowdonia National Park, then traverse the Cambrian Mountains before finally tackling the Brecon Beacons to the south. All in all, about 300 or so kilometres, around 190 miles, with over 5,000 metres of climbing in winter. Bring it on. So it is the morning of the challenge, and I wasn't really sure how to feel on this one because it's not like anything I have done before. I've done long days. This was nuts. And I don't know, it had me in mixed feelings as to, do I attack it? But I was like, no, don't do that because that's nuts and I'll never sustain that for such a long period. Can I even ride for 24 hours? Yeah, mindset-wise, I was just like, well, it's definitely going to be a case of mind over matter, because I think when you get some really dark or low points in the rides, it'll be up here that gets you through it, not your legs. The legs will just keep turning. So that was kind of how I decided to tackle it, really, just in a smiley, positive fashion to just keep on going. No doubt this would be tested over the route, so luckily I had some really encouraging messages from my family and missus, who've always been there to help keep me motivated. And even a message from my nan, who I think may have jinxed the weather.
Hi Rich, hope you don't get too wet tomorrow. I've got plenty of warm clothes. Okay, and do good, do well. Okay, take care, love you loads, bye.
That's enough of that though, Nan. It was time to saddle up and get on out there. Okay, 9:30. Conwy Castle, starting, it begins. See you in a bit, see you guys. So we started in Conwy and the weather was pretty minging, and the first bit of the ride was fairly straightforward. It was a bit of a road stint to get down to Betsy Code, big off-road centre, just churning out those road miles, no problem. And then this is where it was going to really kick in. We head into proper Snowdonia National Park, and I turn left off the main road. And the first climb I hit, I start going up, I get up and I cross this bridge, and then after that, it was just an unrideable mess full of these massive boulders, and basically where the weather, such bad weather we've been having, had just washed out, and it was like a stream.
Oh, this is depressing. Another big, long push-up. It's so steep, and it's so boggy that I'm just wheel spinning. And to try and ride up, it's just counterproductive and just burning energy for no reason.
Just hike a bike and push in, it was horrendous. It's kind of demoralizing already. And then sort of I get past that bit, get back on the bike and things. And then the next big bit I get to, I'm riding up through a forest. I don't know the name of it, but I'm riding up through this forest and I get to an area, I'm following the GPS, all's looking good. And I get to this area where it suddenly opens up. And I guess forestry have been through and logged everywhere, and there's just nothing. There's no track. I'm looking up the mountain, nothing. Looking down the hill, nothing. I'm like, well, I've got to keep going.
Jeez.
Hike a bike time. That's all I could do is literally walk straight up. I'm still following the route. All I can do is just walk up the mountain. I get to the top of the mountain. Okay, well, that was annoying, but positive mindset, keep on going. And then it's like riding across a sponge for flipping ages. The ground was saturated.
Oh, man. I'm basically at the top of Snowdonia National Park, and it's saturated. So much so that bike's just sunk. Standing up by itself. Feet. Woo-wee! You gotta love these challenges. It's pretty epic up here though. This is unreal, look. Just riding a massive slate mine. Look at that. Tell you, Wales never fails. I love it up here. All right, boys. Yeah, we can just chill. Let's grab a quick bite to eat. Yeah, all good. The weather's not playing ball at all. It did sort of stop for a bit, and now it looks like this. And it looks like this for the foreseeable future as well. Looks pretty grim, but I don't know, 35, 40K? Probably about 35, 40K actually. It's not too bad. Just trucking on really. Right, can't stop. Jeez, I can't stop. Where's my pocket? Cool, see you in a bit. I'm sticking to the game plan. Not pushing on too hard. Doesn't look very nice out there, look. Whew. I figured stopping little and often and like keeping warm. Where we are now, which I don't know where we are, is very, very windy and a very, very horrible headwind. So I thought to warm the cockles. Thought whiskey was a bit much, maybe. Oh, that was hot.
What's the cockle?
Warm me cockles, isn't it? I don't know, you just say it in a Somerset accent and it sounds proper. Fuck. You got cockles not need warming? Well, they're warm now.
How's everything feeling, Rich? Everything feel good on the bike? Feeling good and looking good, my friend. You knows it. There is a bit of a headwind along the river, just kicked in. That can do one. Also, one for all of you guys. Might just be worth double checking before we get too remote that all the tracking stuff's working. So WhatsApp stuff, but the Garmin one especially for when I'm in the middle of nowhere. Just make sure that's all working. I don't want to get lost and be in the middle of nowhere.
So Snowdonia was epic, very wet, more rain, pretty grim, I'll be honest. It was some challenging times riding across all the open marshy kind of land at the top, but always try and take the positives. And I think, right, okay, we'll break it down in sections. That's one mountain range done. I've ticked it off.
Richard, looks like you're closing in on Mac. We are there, we are parked on the high street. We have some food to you, probably.
That was horrible. That's 2 massive climbs, just straight up and over the mountains to get in. At the top of one of them, it was horrendous weather. It was proper, like, just sideways rain and really cold. Yeah, let's eat. I'm starving.
How far in are we now, Richard?
100 kilometers. Yeah, 100k in. I think we've just done a couple thousand meters climbing now as well. But it's time for a proper stop. We've not proper stopped yet, or I've not proper stopped. And I feel like I need it now. I need to sort of eat, kind of regroup, reset, chip on more climbs, innit? And this is the last stop now before actual darkness sets in. Because I think once we get going after this, that's it then really. It's doom and gloom time. Well, you can see it's definitely getting darker. I've just had my early dinner stop, as it were. I don't want to get too cold. The lights have had to go on. That Montier 6500S. Primed and ready, all the lumens to keep me going. But I'm out of here. I got to keep on trucking because I want to get this done. I'll see you in a bit. Oh, I don't know if you can see me, but we're heading into darkness. It's officially the start of the night shift. And the start of the night shift is big old uphill. Someone's getting wet feet. The amount of rain we've had is nuts. I'm gonna go try and find a shallower spot to cross. Oh man, it's not warm. Eesh. Update for you. I've had to pull over because I am Hank Marvin. We are 9 hours solid moving time in. It's 5 to 9 at night. So we're near the halfway point. 3,000 meters up. Yeah, it's just hit me a little bit, so I've just pulled over. Snack it. It's very eerie up here. I mean, there's no lights. All I can hear is trickling water in the foreground somewhere. Oh man, I'm getting battered by the weather. And the first real test would come on this massive, massive hill climb. It felt like I was climbing for about an hour. I'm sure it wasn't, but it was hammering down. Just rain, just battering down. And I was there, I'd had to put another coat on because I was getting a bit cold. And I was all wrapped up. And I'm just trudging, literally just trudging up this hill, mega slow. Rain's battering down. We're chipping on nicely. There seems to be a slight obstacle in the way. Oh, hell. That's massive. All right, show must go on, find a way around. Yo, how's it going? Tough along there, bud. 9.5 hours riding time so far. It's 9:30 at night as well. 155k. We're heading somewhere, but where are we heading? It's only going to get later from here. It's going to get wild. From Heureka then, which was roughly the halfway point, and coincidentally actually, I got to the halfway distance mark in under half the time, so in under 12 hours.
Only 12 more hours to go. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. That was too mean. Also, if you're heading into thick fog right now, you're going to be getting pretty close to me and Ben sat at the top of the mountain waiting for you.
All right. Ooh. Ooh, That was cold coming down there. Really cold. I need to get my coat and that on and warm up a bit. That was the first time I was properly cold coming down there off the top. It was really foggy at the top, or it was a cloud or something. Oh yeah, all charged.
In that fog. Hey guys, it's not going too good up here. I am pretty lost. I'm sticking to the route on the sat nav, like the GPS, sorry, but there's no path. I'm just walking through grassland at the moment. It's yeah, it's not good.
Walked for about 10k. Yeah, just across a bog.
Hello.
And that was it. Brecon Beacons ahead. Final mountain range. By no means like, oh, final mountain range, that's easy. Still a huge undertaking ahead. The weather really started closing in on the Brecons as well. Up on the Beacons is, I don't know, it's weird, but the rain was just hammering down. And I was essentially just pushing up a stream. Like I was just watching the water run down over my feet. Then you get to the top and the flipping wind's picked up. So now I'm battling a headwind with the rain just battering on my face. Oh, this is sad times. I'm pushing down some of this downhill because my wrists are just so sore. I've never had that before. Oh, here we go. Right, let's give it a go.
Borida and good morning from Brecon. Pretty much a normal day today. It's going to be cold, dark and filthy wet. But there is change in the air, I promise you. And we have a big, dirty wind coming in from the west. Enough, surely, to force those stupid enough to be out to retreat to the bar for a couple of pints and a pickled egg. Take it easy, my lovelies.
Got to about 6 a.m. and I hadn't still slept. I'd just been trucking and I did start to feel like I could feel when I was on the easier spinning parts, my eyes were like, oh, whoa, I'm starting to get a bit tired here. And I'm with one of the cameramen at this point and we get a bit lost again and we're just going through these huge like 4x4 tracks because that is where the path went, but I didn't know it was used by 4x4s. And there's just these monstrous puddles and boggy areas again, just from the weather we've been having. Mentally, I was okay. Body-wise, like, I'd not talked about my body up till now much because actually it'd been doing all right, but by this point, all my joints are starting to get sore just from shake, like, you know, my wrists were really aching, my knees were starting to just throb. So we start to drop off the Brecons. We're getting down there, so we're heading towards the final stretch, if you like, to meet the rest of the crew. And we get a bit lost. I'm like, Louis, this is nuts. I can't just get lost and keep going around. So we figure out a different route.
All right. Oh, done and dusted. That's 24 hours in the books. 265k. Yeah, it was rubbish. I had a bit of a hissy fit, and we had to find another way down. So I was like, this is just not fun. Just walking on boulders, basically. Yeah, and I just can't be asked that up. So I think it would be cool if we did still finish at Swansea, but I don't want to ride up there. I'm pretty cooked.
But I was like, boys, that Swansea's not far away. It's in our sights. I know we've been going 24 hours here. What do you reckon to keep going? And they were like, if you're up for it. I was like, it'd be cool to get to the end. So we kept on trucking.
Cool, we'll see you in a minute. Ooh.
Sorted then. Little extra distance, little extra time, but we finally landed in Swansea. But we'd made it to Swansea. We'd got to the beach. We'd gone from the top of Wales all the way to the very bottom in a oneer. No sleep, no change of clothes, bike worked faultlessly, lights worked faultlessly. I was like, we've done it. Body worked faultlessly until I stopped, and then basically I just seized. I was like, but it's crazy. It's crazy. There's a big one. It was a big challenge this one. It was tough, but I hope you guys have enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed it after completing it. I'm only kidding. It was fun at the time as well. I love to be pushed. I love these challenges. Hopefully it gets someone out there riding and making your own challenges, whatever they may be. But I'm out of here because I need a big old rest. So for me, for now, I'll see you later.